Good morning, and good morning, Donna. You're here nice and early this morning. Yes, the heat is here, the sun is shining. Welcome, everybody, to the Isn't It Time Facebook Live show. I'm your host, Sally Thibault, and welcome in Australia to the very first day of summer. I hope wherever you are, it is absolutely gorgeous. I was down on the beach this morning before dawn to watch the sunrise. It was just spectacular. We are also in the last month of 2018, so 30 days has September, April, June, and November. 31 days to go. Incredible. So we've got 20 days to go till we head off to Canada to spend time with our children. We're very excited about that. We're very excited. We're having a nice winter Christmas this year. So wherever you are this morning, let me know what it's like where you are. What a week of wild weather to all those affected by the bushfires in Queensland. Oh my goodness, our hearts go out to you. What an awful week. And, as I've said numerous times on this show, time flies when you're having fun. It does, Donna. Time does fly when you're having fun. What a week of weather. That Wednesday was just amazing, wasn't it? That high winds. For us here in Queensland, that was an incredible day. We had a massive storm come through and then these winds that just took off. I was actually driving to Brisbane that night to do a training for a law firm in Brisbane, and went through a bushfire, actually through a smoke from bushfire on the Gold Coast here. So it was a pretty scary day. And of course, I know those in Sydney had a pretty shocking day too. Lots of weather. So for all those who don't think that climate change is here, guess what? It is. And a little kudos to all those kids that marched yesterday. It brought back memories of, moratoriums and women marching in the streets for equal rights. I just love all that stuff. I think we're too complacent, and it's lovely to see those kids in very organised fashion having a say. That's fantastic. Rightio. As you pop on this morning, let me know how you are. Let me know where you're from, if you can hear me, of course. Yeah, the fires are really horrific, aren't they, Donna? And what's really incredible, isn't it, that as Anastasia Palaszczuk said on Wednesday, we've never had this before, ever. We've had catastrophic ratings. So, we got to do something about climate change before it's all too late for everybody, including our children and our grandchildren. So let's get on to some really juicy stuff this morning. We're going to be talking about getting ready for 2019. Now, this is a series. So this week, next week, and the week after, we've done that. So 2 weeks from now will be the last show for 2018. And then we'll restart it back again in January. But what I wanted to do is make the theme for this next shows about reviewing your past year. I love December. For me, I start to go back through my journal, go back through my word, look at where I've gone, what I've done in the year. I'm just thinking. You're kind of just thinking. And then begin to ask the right questions about what it is that I truly want and where I'm heading. And I love to do that with my clients as well. So yesterday on some of the calls, I was getting them to begin that review process and also start to choose their word for the year. And we'll do that probably in the next show. I'll show you how I do that. And it's a great way to keep you organized and focused for the year. All right, so today we are talking in the very first process in doing this is what we call realigning your purpose and realigning your vision for the year. Then two incredibly important things before you do anything, before you have set any intention, before you set any vision for what it is that you truly want. Number one is the review. Okay, what happened this year? What didn't I achieve? What did I achieve? Let's celebrate that. What didn't I achieve? Let's look at why and what's going on. And then the second thing is to see if your purpose has been aligning. Now, there's actually two aspects to purpose. Yeah, exactly, Donna. Me too. I love that reflection time. Oops, too. Yes. About aligning your purpose. I hear a lot of people talking about purpose. And there's a couple of things about it. Over the years, as I've worked on this area, one of the things that I've really discovered, and in particular working with clients over this, 3 decades or so, is that there is actually two aspects to our purpose. And we kind of the word gets bandied around about passion all the time, and that's not it. I'm passionate about climate change, but that's not my purpose. I'm passionate to ensure that children receive a good education, but that's not my purpose. Even though my purpose can wrap around it, that's not my purpose in life. If it was, I'd be doing it. There are two aspects to purpose. One is what's called true purpose or soul purpose, depending on, what you're talking about. It's the one you are born with. It's the one you come in to express. It's the kind of the how you're going to live your life. And your life purpose evolves. So as you kind of evolve, it's about not losing your true or your soul purpose, in fact, allowing that to express. But your life purpose is the one that evolves. When I was in the fitness industry, my life purpose at that point in time was to teach people how to get fit, how to feel better, and that was my life purpose for 15 years, and I loved it. And then when I was working in education, my purpose was my life purpose at that time was to create a better place for children to be in, the education, to connect people. And then when I moved into this area of coaching and the work that I do now in training and facilitating and writing books has been all about teaching people to live their best life. And that's and every time that I've done that, it's because I've evolved through something. Now, let's go back to true purpose, soul purpose. The challenge most of us have with understanding our soul purpose is that it's often so close to us, we don't even know we do it. It's the one thing that others look and say, wow, I don't think I could do that. Or you're so good at that, naturally good at that. How do you do that? It's the element of you that is so close to your whole being that you just take often for granted. You often take it for granted. The other part about it is because it's so close to us, if we're criticized or receive criticism about it in ways that from the people, words, events of our past, it hurts too much. And I always remember a great interview with Dr. John Gray. Do you remember the book Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus? And he was being interviewed on Oprah Winfrey many years ago. Gosh, it'd have to be 20 years ago. Gee, yeah, how old are my children? Maybe 30 years ago. I don't know. But anyway, 25 years. Let's say 25 years. So about 25 years ago, I was watching this interview with Dr. John Gray and Oprah Winfrey, and he was talking about his book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. And he said in the interview that it had taken him about 5 years to write and finally get it, I think it was a little bit more maybe, get it to publish state. And she said, why did it take so long? Because it's such a good book and it's going to, change the way people interact with each other. And he said, because I know this is my purpose. And if I had failed, it would have destroyed me. If I wrote a book about accounting, or if I wrote a book about, goal setting, he said, I know a lot about those things and I could have written a very good book, but it wasn't my purpose. So the purpose, your true purpose, your soul purpose, is the thing that sits deep inside of your heart. And when you're criticized by it, for it, it hurts too much. It's like the part of you shrinks and you can't for the life of you get over that hurt. And so you kind of build a wall around it. And when I was working on this one day, I hit on a phrase that was used a lot when I was growing up. And that was, you're crazy. What makes you think you know? Where did you get that from? You're crazy. Where'd you get that from? Now, I don't know. Still don't know. I still don't know where I get some of the ideas from. I don't know. when I wrote the book, David's Gift, that wasn't me writing it. I know it wasn't me writing it. When I wrote the book, Tap Into Reclaim You, I look back on that now and think, who wrote this? When you are in that purpose, it's like time stands still. You do it so effortlessly and easily. It's like you are just channeling the information from somewhere. In fact, at the training on the weekend, on Wednesday, a lady bought my book, now David's Gift. So I wrote that back in 2000, 2008. No, 10 years ago now. Is that right? Must be. Good grief. Good grief. I launched it in 2010, so it must be. And she sent me an email. I woke up this morning, she sent me an email, and her email said the same comments I get back so often about this book. It's like you've been living in my house. It's like you've walked the same path as me. Now, in order to write that book, I had to get out of my head into my heart and into my purpose. Because it's that point that I had to let go of, and I did a lot of work around it, being criticized for the book, because it was very open and raw and honest about our journey. And I had to write it from my soul purpose. So soul purpose always begins with the word to. Always begins with the word to. And then that next part that comes is the action part of it, okay? So for me, it's to teach, to inspire, and to lead. There are three things. You don't have to have one. Sometimes I think people talk about getting one. How this impacts on your life purpose is this. If you're not aligning with your soul purpose in your current life purpose, and this came up in the EFT for leaders and coaches training 2 weeks ago, if you're not aligning your true purpose, which is to help, to inspire, to teach, to entertain, whatever it is, with your life purpose, there's always a disconnect. Now, this came up for me when I had a business coach a couple of years ago, and when we were writing my vision, my mission and vision statement, I shared the word to help in there. So, what I do to help. Okay, that kind of didn't align with me, didn't feel right, but that's what it is. So I went down a path of helping people. That's not my purpose. That is not my purpose. And yet I have a friend who is very, very good at what she's one of the top people in doTERRA. She's brilliant at what she does. Brilliant. Her true purpose is to help. So that's what her passion is. That's what her drive is. That's where it comes from, to help. That's very different from me, which is to teach. See, that's different, and it's just different. Now, why it makes it so hard is because if you've been criticized about something when you were a child, it makes that purpose shrink. It's too painful. If it's not important to you, it doesn't matter. But it's painful. But the key is to get back to where you express totally in that purpose. Then whatever life purpose you're currently doing, you step into that. Everything evolves from that. Now, the reason your life purpose changes is because you change, you evolve. Every kind of 5 years, maybe, many of us now change. We have different thoughts, we have different ideas, we want to move into different areas. So that changes. And, I know a lot of people get hung up on life purpose. What's my life purpose? I don't know. What do you want to do now? What is it now? Are you with me? Am I getting, is everybody still here? You're awfully quiet. Awfully quiet. Oh, that's gorgeous Saturday morning. So look, if you are really struggling with this, what is my purpose? What is it? What I'm going to do in the next couple of weeks, I'm opening up my calendar. I haven't done this in a while, actually, for a private conversation with me and to see if and how I can help you All the details are on this link. And if this is something you see you want to do, send me a message. Let's get some clarity. You know, you might be okay. In 30 minutes, we may be able to go, yeah, that's it. I got it. But if not, you might want to come work with me for a day. Just come work with me for a day. And let's find this. Let's find, you know, what is it that's holding you back? When I was that business coach, you know, one of the vision was and mission was to help, it just was not in alignment. I couldn't put my finger on it. I couldn't get it because that's not what I was here to do. That's not what I came to the planet to do. Even though I do help people along the way, that's not my true purpose. My true purpose is to teach, to inspire, and to lead. There's 3 of them. And everything that I do must have those 3. So when I'm, you know, for you that are on this call that are, you know, in your own businesses, whether that's coaching or leading teams or in your business, whatever it is, that purpose, your true purpose, has to wind in around the life purpose. So it's not about changing what you're doing. I mean, you could love what you're doing. You could be working in you could be running a restaurant, for instance, and maybe yours is to serve. And so maybe you're, you know, spending too much time cooking and not enough time outside serving people. Whatever it is, it's the thing that fills up the energy tanks. It's the thing that fills you up. It's the thing that wakes you up in the morning and you go, oh, I know what I can do next. It's that thing when you're in that alignment, it is effortless. Do you know, when I'm walking in the morning, I don't have any music anymore. I don't listen to my audiobooks. I don't do any of that anymore. When I'm walking in the morning, I just am in my zone. I'm focused. Although this morning I picked up 4 plastic bottles. People just dump plastic bottles on the bridge. It's my home. Picking up plastic bottles and putting them in the garbage. But anyway, I digress. So it's about finding your vision. When you do that, when I walk and I know I'm on purpose and I know I'm living my true purpose and I know I'm aligned, the ideas flow. They just flow. So if that's not happening for you and you really want to get really clear for 2019, click on the link, book a call with me, 30 minutes. Let's see even how I can help you. If you're ready, you can book in for a day. No pressure. It doesn't matter. We might be able to sort it out in 30 minutes. That's fine. But what I find is when you can get really clear on this, it is only then that you can create the vision that'll work. You can set those intentions and goals that will work. You've got to do the inner work first. It doesn't matter what you want. If you're not expressing through your soul purpose, it's always going to be hard. You're going to run into challenges and blocks. You know, something that came out of the training on Wednesday night when it was actually young people I was working with. It was so good. It was great. You know what they loved a lot? Gratitude journals. I was floored. They loved the idea of doing 2 daily gratitudes and writing in their journals and intermittent fasting. It was really, really cool. But one of the things that came out of it was that complication creates confusion. There's lots of complication. You know, I should be doing this and I build this and I got to do this. And you get confused. But clarity creates confidence. When you're clear on what you want, clear on what you should be doing, clear on your purpose, creates the confidence. And the confidence leads to opening up your mind, the subconscious mind in particular. You're welcome, Desiree. Thank you for being here. It opens up that in particular to the ideas that flow. It's then you can kind of move forward in this effortlessly. Let's make 2019 effortless, shall we? Let's make it effortless and abundant because it's too complicated out there. Yeah, absolutely. Complication creates confusion. Exactly right, Donna. And when it's complicated, we think it's got to be complicated. Do you know, that's the other thing. We think it has to be complicated. It doesn't. If you're stepping into your true purpose and aligning your life purpose in whatever that is, whatever it is. If you're doing that, it flows. You will know. Right, Leona? Thank you. You will know. Just flows. So clarity creates confidence. So if you're stuck at the moment, let's book in. Let's have a chat. See if I can help you create that clarity before you begin the process of setting those intentions. If you wait till January 1st to do all this, you're behind the eight ball. You're behind the eight ball. I love, by the time I get to the 31st of December, I know exactly what I'm doing for the year. I just love that. I love that I don't stay up till midnight. So 9 o'clock fireworks is about as far as I go. But I know I'm going to bed that night knowing that when I wake up on the 1st of January, I know exactly my plan. I know exactly what I'm doing for the next 90 days. So this morning, I encourage you, we're not going to do a tapping today. What I would like you to do today is begin to ask, what is my true purpose? Where am I when I'm in my zone of genius? What is it I'm doing when I'm in my zone of genius that I know, and it's got to be with a 2 in front of it, okay? A 2. And then the key is to find where that left you. Find when that when that shattering came. Find it. Because that's what stops you. It's the fear of the pain of not living it. That's what it is. And believe me, I still work on this every single day. This morning I hit on another one. This morning. And it's like, oh. And many times you've been told things as children that people didn't realize. Oh God, is that, you're stupid. What makes you think you know everything? All that stuff. That when you're living in that openness, that you're wide open to that vulnerability and just, being where you are, when you're in that zone, that hurts like hell. Hurts like hell. Do you know, I went to a Catholic school and I won the religion prize every year up until grade 6. But because I loved it all. I loved that everything about spirituality and knowing that there was something of power far greater than me, and that when I was aligned with that, it was just this sense of who I was. I told my mother I wanted to be a nun up until I discovered boys. So it's like, oh, well, I'm going to go without those guys. I like those boys much better than I like the habit. But it's really interesting if you go back and look, you'll find there, and when you were younger, where you were in that absolutely open, beautiful state, heart just wide open, and you were doing it, where you were expressing through that true purpose, and somebody said something to you. Excuse me. Somebody said something to you. Somebody made fun of you. Someone took it away from you, and it mightn't have been only once. Now, the thing with EFT, you've got to go in and get each and every one of them. That's the key. You can't just take one because there'll be more. And, oftentimes there's a lot of pain in healing this. But on the other side of it, it's amazing. It's amazing. In fact, one of the things I get all the time is, yes, inner child, no fear. Absolutely, Donna. Every time I do this, I'm amazed at how much deeper it gets when we're now into our, 40s, 50s, and a little bit older than that. Still realize how that impacts on us. The inner child still exists, that part of you that was hurt really badly when you were little, who didn't know any different. That still exists. And that's the thing about purpose, because when you go to step into your true purpose, that's the memory. The amygdala goes, whoa, hang on a minute, don't do that because you got hurt last time, it pulls back. And so that's what the block is. That's where the doubt comes from. That's where the imposter syndrome sets in. So it's all about clearing it. So if you're ready to do that, if you are ready to do that, just look, book in 30 minutes. Let's figure it out. Let's see if I help you. And if it's something that you feel is a fit, we can have a whole day together, one-on-one, just privately. Really empowering to work just one day on this. It gets over and done. In fact, most people say they clear, like 6 years worth of stuff in 6 hours. And it's very powerful. So if that's something you think that I can help you with, please click on the link. I will just pop it there again and click on the link. And I would love to work with you to help make 2019 the absolute best, because you know what? Your voice is needed. Whatever you're doing, your voice is needed. If not now, when? And it's wise women that are going to lead this place out of its mess. It's wise women. It's wise women. This is what we need. When those kids marched during the week and our Prime Minister told them they should stay in school, and just really, where were you in 1970? When you were marching. But they just don't get it. And that's why, and all it is creating a void for really strong people and strong women and heart-centered leaders to step in and take over. And it has to happen. It has to fall down. It just has to. So everybody, it is almost 8 a.m. and thank you, everybody. Again, click on